The following may contain language which will be offensive to some people and inappropriate for children. Still here? Then pour your favorite beverage and let's get this fucking show started.
Forum, assemble. You're watching Fantastic Forum, the premier show about comic books and your live weekly conversation about entertainment and geek culture. We are the Fantastic Forum, coming to you live and direct from the Hall of F. Hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, as the case may be, depending on where you are in the world. And if you're not, you should stick with us. We'll help you take it up a notch. Yeah, the usual suspects in the build. First, he is our riddle. Inside of an enigma trapped in Chinese finger cuffs. You don't know him. You love him anyway. He's our silent assassin, Jay.
Hey.
Hey, indeed.
Next. Are you crying, Jay?
No.
Oh, me neither.
Next, he's the backbone, the pillar, the strength of Fantastic Forum, our nigh invulnerable brawler and resident strongman, Moses Magnet.
Let's see how all this shit works today.
You're looking good, buddy. You're looking good.
Thank you.
Yeah. As for myself, my name is Lawrence Young. They call me Mary Young. Welcome to Fantastic Forum. Shout out to Oz. He's on the way. So, don't worry. You won't be deprived your weekly dose of Oz's package or some substitute thereof. But yeah, he'll be here in a minute. In the meantime, we got a great show for you today because we are going to be talking to you all about Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. And we're also going to be talking to you about Web of Spider-Man #1. Man, my words are slurring. I haven't had anything to drink. What's going on? Like, if I'm going to sound like this. I'm still drunk from earlier.
Your diction.
What?
You need to lubricate your diction.
That's what I got to do. So, But yeah, Web of Spider-Man #1, giving us little tidbits of all the things going on in the Spider-Man universe coming up. So we'll talk about that as well. And, of course, whatever else it is that you all want to talk about. But before we do that, we want to make sure that we thank Mr. Scott Rubin, because without him, this show would not exist. So, hey, thank you, Scott Rubin. Hope you're doing well, good sir. And with that said, yeah, I guess it's time just to let the intern do their thing.
Fantastic Forum on Skype and join the fun. Too shy to call in? That's okay. You can join the Discord chat room available at
fantasticforum.live.
Join the party. You know you want to.
Indeed. So yeah, join the party. Speaking of which, ladies and gentlemen, we have our intrepid senior reporter, Oz. How are you, sir?
The intern told me to call in. So
I'm glad.
Because I really want to.
Look, you want to. So, yeah, man. So, welcome. But yeah, do what the intern says. Jump into chat. You can jump into Skype or into Twitch. We'll take your comments directly out of chat and bring them into the show. Like Hecht here, who says, "I have that shirt." I'm assuming he's talking about Moses'
Suicidal
shirt.
Tendencies fan, huh?
And Simpsons crossover.
Oh, there it is.
I hate that it says Pepsi though, but
all I wanted was Pepsi. Was a Pepsi.
Yeah, but I love it.
Yeah.
I just recently heard the Ice-T version of that song.
Oh, I love it. It's so good.
It is pretty good.
It's like updated lyrics, like as an adult, like the shit you deal with. Fuck a vegan.
Does it say that in the song?
Yeah, because he gets to work and he's hungry. He's eating a ham sandwich, and then some guy's like, "Don't eat that. That's gonna kill you. I'm a vegan." He goes, "The only way that this ham sandwich is gonna kill me is somebody shot it out of a fucking gun and it was a bullet.
Yeah.
And he talks about Oprah. Talk shit about Oprah. It's all good. I love it.
Like recently, or was that in the past?
No. This was in 2014. So.
Oh, sheesh.
Yeah, I'm late to the party.
The distant past.
Well, you can be early for the version Diddy puts out.
Indeed. See, we're topical here. No.
Like ointment.
Yeah. So, but yeah, you can jump into chat. You can also call in, be the 5th member of Fantastic Forum. That is something that we can do. You can go to fantasticforum.live, hit the call-in button. I think I switched that.
That's messed up, Larry. You giving us the finger like that?
Oh, I just had something in my eye.
Yeah, sure. I get it.
What? I love you all. Why would I give you all the finger?
I mean, I guess it was for the audience.
Oh, no. I love our audience. Like, look, Hecht,
Sure.
You're great. Thank you, Hecht. Look, thank goodness for the unobservance of daylight savings time in Arizona. So, there was a reveal today for a new Marvel game. Have you guys heard of this Marvel Rivals yet?
I have, thanks to Tiger Claw.
Wait, is that the 1943 one?
No. Which we didn't, I know we had talked about that in the past, but that trailer did come out too. I guess I was gonna say a while ago, but it's only been maybe not even 2 weeks, right? When that trailer came out. That came out a week and a half ago. Which is interesting because that game definitely didn't cause as much of a stir as this one has. So Marvel Rivals is like the Marvel brand on a competitive shooter. It's third person 6v6 and definitely in the lane of your Overwatches or your Valorant. It's like trying to go after that market. But it has the characters that as and a few that, or one or two that you don't, I guess, as the characters that you play as. I don't know. You got that trailer by chance, Jay, handy? Maybe you could just.
Oh, was I supposed to?
Not necessarily. Look, I'm wondering if you. No, I know you can. I was wondering, I know you watched it recently, so I was just like, do you happen to have that up still? Because we could be showing the people what we're talking about as we're talking about it. And Oz, you haven't even seen it, huh?
No, I never heard of it. Doesn't sound interesting.
Well, it doesn't sound interesting?
No, well, I mean, you probably didn't explain it right, so I'll hold off.
Wait a minute. Didn't you buy Suicide Squad?
No.
Oh,
no, that game's terrible. No.
You don't have to tell me.
When I first heard about it, but then when I started seeing stuff about it, then no.
Oh, okay. Cool. Look, I'm glad you wised up because you were talking about it like you were going to buy it. And I'm like, dude.
I was going to pre-order it. I'm glad I did.
That game was
top-notch team to win this one.
Oh, hey, maybe.
Pick your hero. Get ready. Go!
By the Vishanti, Strange is here. And
oh, this is terrible. No, I'm out.
It's nano time.
Now, what is it about it? Right off the rip, that makes you feel like no thing.
I got that on video.
It's an arena battle game. I hate those.
Oh, got you. So it's the genre.
Yeah, and the character.
Be strong together.
Join
You
together.
don't like Marvel characters?
Drown them. I'm everywhere. Your powers are mine.
So say
I got
same genre, but DC characters. Would you give it a shot?
I stopped playing DC Online years ago.
Hey, mind if I join you? Maximum pulse.
What's this on? Just PC?
You know, that's a good question. I'm assuming it'll have to be on PC, but I'm sure it's coming to consoles too.
Is it going to be on Steam?
I can't imagine it wouldn't be on Steam.
You're the winner.
If I'm still.
Next team.
I still need a game for Steam.
Oh yeah, there it is. There's a Steam there. Steam and Epic Game Store. So
cool.
Yeah, so yeah, that came out. It had been rumored for a little while. Or I said the trailer came out, not the game. Say what'd you say, Mo?
I'll probably buy it and not play it like everything else.
Got it. You buy it and not play it like everything else.
I got a Steam Deck and I don't have any games on it.
that could be your first.
Yeah.
Hex in chat. Hex says Valorant. This man said Valorant. Is that not the game? Is that the name of the game? Or did I say it wrong?
I think he means no one knows what that is.
Oh, that's hilarious. Damn.
We have a caller.
We do. Let's look. Let's bring Ed Davis is in the building.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. Good to see you again. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Watching that trailer that you guys were playing, and it's like, I'm kind of with Moses. I'm not huge on those kind of fight games myself, so
yeah,
my kids might end up wanting it, and then I'll get it. But yeah, I have my stack of unplayed games as well, so it's kind of like, how many more do I need when I don't have infinite time to play the stack I already own?
Listen, I was telling my buddy the other day, it's like I've just started calling it my retirement backlog. Like, the generation before us had like a stack of books that they're like, when I retire, I'm gonna sit there and read these books finally. And I'm like, I'm doing that for games. Like I got all these RPGs that I'm just like, okay. It's like there's gonna be a time when I'll just be like, I don't have nothing to do but to sit around all day. And guess what I'm gonna finally get to do? Play these games.
Play all those games. Yeah.
Right.
They're not gonna go bad. It's not like they're just gonna disappear and deteriorate. So one day they'll be waiting for you. So there's retirement goals right there.
Right, exactly. Like here's hoping the digital systems don't go bust, right? Like, like make sure that like these drive or these friggin' servers are still around.
Yeah.
So, Ed, man, thanks for coming and calling in, man. I know you have you're in the middle of a Kickstarter right now. Are you not?
I am, yes.
Let's talk about it.
Awesome. Yeah. So this one is for Immortal Era 9. Last time I talked to you guys, I was running it for my other book, Corruptor. So this one is for the 9th issue of Immortal Era. And I wrote this one as a standalone where you can kind of use it as a jumping in point, and it focuses completely on the backstory of one of the main characters in the book and his struggle to try to save his wife, who gets captured. She gets captured by the kind of the police in this society, which are these giant robotic monstrosities. And she gets captured by them for breaking the law of being pregnant, because in this world with immortality, you can't be pregnant. That's one of the main laws you can break. So she's captured for being pregnant, and it centers on our main character trying to rescue her when she's taken out of the city.
That's pretty amazing, man. Like, how did you decide to break or give yourself a story break right there in regards to like saying, okay, let's do the jumping on point at 9?
I think what it came down to is I know a lot of people had said like, okay, I'm interested in the series, but that's a lot of back issues to try to catch up on. Mm-hmm. So what I thought is kind of mid-story arc, let me give you something that works as a jumping on point. I mean, obviously, there's going to be references and things that are not going to make complete sense because you haven't heard
Right.
them throughout. But you can read it independently and you'll understand it. And then if you were to just continue from 9 and move into 10, then the second part of the story that we're focusing on starts more there, and you can read it from that point and understand it, and hopefully want to go back and fill in all the holes that you'd have.
That sounds good. It's really interesting. Well, in the era we live in, obviously there's a lot of people are used to being able to like go back and binge things if they want to, start from the beginning.
Yeah.
It's like I just know, like, growing up with comics, it was no thing. Like, my first comic was literally in the middle of an arc.
Yeah.
Middle of a story arc, and
Yeah.
that's what editorial notes were for, right? Like, to not only kind of give you like maybe a little hint of what was happening, where they're like, hey, that, and not only to like be like, oh, that's why they say this, but
Yeah.
they give you like the issue. You'd be like, but if you want to know more, go look at issue number 63, right? And so
I just had a similar experience yesterday because
Mhm.
one of the first books I ever bought for myself was like one of the Wolverine, like right after Fatal Attractions, where he lost everything, the big event for him, and the book is just referencing all that stuff, but it's still a jumping on point in this new status quo for Wolverine. And I was reading it again last night, and I was like, oh yeah, this is what it felt like to just pick up a random book once,
Right. That's awesome. And so right now, how close are we to getting issue 9 funded, Ed?
Okay, sorry, it froze there for a minute, but
no problem.
I caught the tail end. So how close are we to funding? We are about 700 away from funding with 10 days left. So I feel confident we're going to get there. I'm going to be at WonderCon this weekend and doing some different promos to try to get people to back at the show, because last year I ran a campaign during WonderCon, and one of the things that I bought as a stretch goal is a character pin. And I'm just going to say, hey, we're probably not going to hit the 5,000 to unlock it. But if you come to WonderCon, back it at the table, you can walk away with the pin. Unfortunately, I don't have the book. I like to have the book ready and printed, but this one, it's being printed, but my printer switched locations, so everything got backlogged. So what happened was they were normally a lot faster, but they said, hey, we're switching locations. So basically they stopped production for 2 weeks, which is the 2 weeks that would have had the books in hand for WonderCon.
Right.
People who have backed me know that I'm quick about getting stuff out. So as soon as the books are in hand and the Kickstarter closes, you'll get them. But I love to be able to say, oh, you backed the book, here, walk it. You can take it right now and bring it with you. But if nothing else, you can walk away with the pin. And then I have a cool thing. Since they're doing it on Easter weekend, I'm doing Easter eggs that are going to have stickers, pins, keychains, and then I'm going to have raffle tickets in some of them, so you can win things like books. I'll have a couple of the foils in there, even one of the hardcovers you can get in the Easter eggs. And then the grand prize is one of the original art pages. So I'll have one of those that you can win if you buy the Easter eggs. So kind of, since it's going to be on Easter weekend, may as well have fun with it and have some cool stuff for people.
Indeed. Absolutely. And trust me, look, I think it's actually probably going to end up being pretty decently packed on the inside, especially since we're going to have some rainy weather this weekend. Cats won't be hanging outside. so they will be in there ready to back Immortal Era. Now, just for those that are listening that aren't, maybe they didn't get to see you last time, aren't familiar with Immortal Era, just tell them a little bit about the story once again. We know it's a post-apocalyptic world with the immortals in it, but give the people maybe just a little bit of an overview of the characters and who will follow it.
So this story, it's, as you said, it's a post-apocalyptic world, and in this world, everyone has become immortal. So they gained the power of immortality, but they didn't get any kind of special powers or abilities. So these immortals still age. They can still get sick. There's a character in the story who's just a decapitated head. So you're living in a world where it's just a terrible place. Resources have depleted to nothing. That's why in this world, being pregnant is one of the greatest crimes you can commit because they're trying so hard to control population. So there's roaming gangs, there's cannibalism. It's a terrible world. So it centers on a group of 5 heroes. They're out trying to find a way to restore the natural life cycle because they know the only way they can save humanity is by killing them. And as the story progresses, we see that there are people who are they are completely bent on keeping immortality in the world because they found a way to use it for their advantage. They found a way to stop aging. They found a way to keep themselves healthy and basically invulnerable. And they're going to do everything they can to make sure that immortality sticks. So we're getting kind of these two factions fighting against each other. And issue 9, it kind of pauses and focuses on the main character who's only known as Father up until by the end of this issue. We'll know his real name. We'll know what happened to him. And he watches his wife being captured because they're trying to escape the city when she's pregnant. He sees her getting captured and then makes it his quest to bring her back alive.
Man, that sounds pretty awesome. Like, like, yeah, there it is. There it is.
I'm looking at the tiers right now, and this $78 tier is really calling because I have a lot of the physical issues up until like 7 right now, and this one has a hardcover trade from 1 through 6.
Yeah,
and then 7, 8, and 9 physical copy, but then all 1 through 9 digital as well.
Yeah,
and that is like I'm building my iPad library of digital versions of stuff I already had. So this is going to be a good one for me.
Yeah,
that's probably what the 4th trade, the 4th tier, 5th tier.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, that one's great because, like you said, you get the physical hardcover, and that one I actually made very low quantities of. I only printed 100,
wow.
So it's super limited. The soft covers, I printed 500. I'll print 500 more when they sell out. That one is never going to go out of print. That's the mass market one. With the hardcover, I just did 100. I did it on like the highest gloss pages, covers, everything, and then also threw in cover galleries and all the kind of fun things you get at the end of those deluxe trades whenever you buy them.
Yeah, this will be fun here. You're going to hear it.
Oh.
You didn't hear
are we hearing the clicking of the funding?
Yeah, technically, because it needs to read my face to pay for the money.
Okay.
So like, and it usually goes like or something, but it didn't do it. I guess I'm on silent because of the show.
Okay. So are you guys going to be at WonderCon this weekend?
Yeah, at least at the very least Sunday for sure for me, and then I'm gonna try to do I might just like cut Saturday short and do like half the later part of Saturday.
Yeah.
Well, definitely stop by my table. I'll get you everything that I can hand you right now from what you back, so you can get the majority of the things. And I actually just got my digital copy of 9, so I can send you the 1 through 9 digital copies right away.
Shit. Oh, thank you. It's the beauty of technology of the future.
Yes, I love that. And 9 is a wild one. The last podcaster I just did said he read it and it made him cry. So I'm like, all right, I'm doing my job.
It's good stuff.
I mean,
Ed, let me ask
my
you,
wife is still angry at me for that issue too. She yells at me about a couple stories. She knows the whole story because she kind of we'll go on walks and I'll talk through it with her. And she's mad at me about 3 decisions I'm going to make. And this is decision number 1 that she's still like, I hate you for doing this. So this is the first one. And the next 2, they're going to take a lot longer to get there, but you'll probably share her hate.
How that brings up an interesting question for me. Cause it's like, how do you navigate like your family life and your work life and then your creative life too? Like you got 3 different facets to yourself that I know of, and then you talked about you're a runner too, so that's another 4th face to you that like how do you navigate all that through in 24 hours in a day?
It is
Yeah,
tricky.
without neglecting people, I guess.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
guess it's tricky because I also coach running as well. I coach a
Yeah.
track team.
Oh
So
wow.
it's really tricky, and you have to find times to write. So okay, I'm on break at work, bring out the writing pad and start drafting whatever I'm going to be working on. And it's just literal squeezing in time whenever you possibly can.
Wow.
So yeah, it's sometimes it's harder than others. And you
Yeah.
know, luckily my kids are older. They're, you know, one's in 8th grade, one's about to graduate high school. So
Okay.
when they were younger, it was a lot harder to find the time because they of course had a lot more needs. But you
Yeah.
still, it's constant juggling. And I'm the type of person, I don't like sitting still. So it works for me,
Okay.
where
That
I
works.
like to
Yeah.
constantly be moving, constantly be on the go. And that's how I kind of live my life. But it's, you know, sometimes it's staying up late, all the kids are asleep, and I'm going to sit and I'm going to write a little bit. Sometimes it's, you know, waking up earlier. All right, I'm going to set the alarm, get up an hour earlier and squeeze in a little bit of writing. So it's, the good thing is I can, you know, start and stop writing at any point and it doesn't affect me. So it's like, okay, I can do
Okay.
3 pages today and then not have to worry about like, oh, if I don't keep going, I'm never going to get it. I'll do 3 pages and write extensive notes of what has to come next. So that way I'm ready when I come back in. Maybe it's 2 days, maybe it's 3 days later, and jump right back in where I left off.
Now, how about your process? Like, do you outline probably an issue, and that way you were able to go back, or is it just all in here?
I have to outline it because then you'll forget. You'll think of something amazing, and if you don't write it down, it's going to drop out of your head. So I'll be outlining. What I'll do is the first thing I outline is the full story arc. So each story arc is 6 issues. So I'll outline all the major beats that the story arc's going to need to have, and then from there I outline each issue. And what issue 9 was going to be was actually just part of issue 9. The original intent was that maybe it would have been 6 or 8 pages, but the story just felt bigger than what I could tell in 6 or 8 pages. So the backstory that was just going to be, you know, a little flashback in one of the issues turned out to be 32 pages long, and then actually about 4 more pages in the next issue. So that one just kind of blew up on itself. And the more notes I wrote, the more I realized, okay, it's not going to work. It's just a small little flashback as part of the bigger story. But yeah, notes, I have to know everything. And even if I'm typing, I'll just say, okay, bullet points, all these things need to happen in the next, you know, 8 pages or 10 pages, whatever it may be. And then know that where everything has to eventually land to end each story arc.
Man, I tell you, like, it's crazy to hear you talk about like a list of bullet points and say like, oh, okay, things need to happen in 8 or 10 pages, just because, you know, especially as people that consume comics, like you understand the economy of a page.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's like, it is really sometimes tough to decide, like, you know, to get like a story actually told or a moment actually captured within the confines of a particular page or 2 or however many. So it's like it's interesting hearing how you break it down.
In Immortal Era, there's a couple issues like towards like the 3 or 4 where it's like a lot of stuff happens in like those issues, but it's just almost like half of it's like a conversation that takes about 10 minutes. Where like in the next issue, it's like it's action packed, and then it takes a couple days. Like, and I noticed that trend or that technique in maybe in a lot of the post-apocalyptic books, like even like Walking Dead, like one issue will be just a conversation and then the rest will be like 6 months later, you know, like and it's navigating, doing that well is like steering that ship well. It takes a lot of planning. It's
tricky, because I mean, issue 3 I think is 90% conversation. There's some flashback. We find out what happened to our character who's a decapitated head to land him as a decapitated head, but there's not a lot of action. And then issue 4,
there's hardly any conversation at all, it goes to all action. So trying to juggle the two, because if you do pure action, you're not going to build the characters. But if you do pure conversation, write a novel. People don't want to read just conversations between two characters in a comic series.
Well, and that's the beauty of comics. You can do a little bit of both and intermingle them and take turns, and it's some of my favorite comics do all that. So,
so now that issue 9 has expanded and became, or the scene that was going to be a part of issue 9 expanded and became its own book. Does that mean we're going to get like an extra issue? You're thinking, or like, what's the thought? Like, how's that going to work for you in regards to the story you're trying to tell?
I had to shift a few little parts of this, what was going to be the ending of this particular story arc. I had to shift a few things, and actually what was going to be one of the endings of this story arc will open the third story arc. So I did have to do a little bit of shifting, because you eventually run out of pages, and when you're paying the artist for each page and the colorist for each page, you have to think, can I afford to do all these pages that I had originally planned? Because you have to budget every single piece that goes into it, because I can only write. So, I have to make sure that the artist is there. And I'm very picky. I want it to look, if you grab my book from the shelf, it looks as good as a Marvel, a DC, or an Image book. And that's one of the things about a lot of indie comics that scared me off, was the artwork wasn't as crisp. So that was something that I kind of wanted to find. But the better artist you want, the more you're going to pay to get those pages done. So you have to think, all right, I can't do every issue 32 pages as much as I'd like to. You have to find ways to keep things balanced. And that was shifting what was going to close out the story arc and making it the new opening.
Wow. And so despite you shifting what was going to be the ending of the arc to the beginning of the next one, you still feel like good about the ending that you ended up with? Like,
I do, because the biggest moment that I wanted to end this story arc with is still there. So I couldn't compromise that. So when I started writing this story arc, that was where I said, okay, it must end here. But I was going to do kind of an epilogue after that, where we would see about 8 pages of another occurrence in a different place. Those 8 pages are now shifted, and they're going to open up the 13th issue.
Okay, nice. At this point in your career, Ed, you've given a few inaugural issues of series or whatnot. I would love to hear your opinion on what is it that you feel is like what are the most important parts of like a first issue for a comic in your estimation? Like when you're writing the first issue, what are the things that you're like, I need to make sure I have in order to have like a successful first issue?
I think you need to make compelling characters. The storyline is still going to be foggy, because you're introducing, you're world building, and you can't give everything away at once. And my first draft of Immortal Era, I submitted it to an editor and I got destroyed, and rightfully so. I mean, I was green, but it literally gave everything away in one issue. It was just like, here, let's just talk about everything in this world, and here's every mystery that you could possibly want to know, all crammed into 24 pages. And the characters we barely spent any time with. So I went back after submitting it to them and thinking, oh, they're going to read it and they're going to be like, we have to publish you today. And instead they're like, yeah, figure something out and start all over. And by getting just annihilated by a publisher, it made me think, what matters here isn't telling the whole story in one swoop. Take your time and let people actually begin to care about the characters that you're putting in here. People want to know the characters. They want to root for them. They want to, if something happens to them, you want to rip their heart to shreds, and if you don't build the characters, you could kill one and be like, what? Who was that again? Let me flip back and try to figure out which character that actually was. So I think it became about
world building, but more importantly, the character building, where you may not know what the heck's going to happen, but you are already rooting for these characters.
Yeah. That seems solid. I agree. It's like if you can mess around and make people care about your characters in issue 1, you're definitely winning probably more than half the battle right there. Because yeah, like that's what gets people coming back a lot of, or like 9 times out of 10.
Yeah. And that's the thing that people, if they do come to the table and want to talk about the book, most of them love one particular character and they want to talk about that character. Like, oh my gosh, what about this one and what's going to happen here? And I'm notorious for spoiling things when people walk up to my table. So I have to muzzle myself half the time. Like, oh shit, that's too far. That's like that's issue 20 stuff.
That's too funny. It's too funny. All right, so Ed, man, why don't you tell the people where they can go exactly if they want to back issue 9 of Immortal Era, and definitely give out or plug whatever else you might want to plug in that moment too.
All right, so right now issue 9 is live on Kickstarter. It's the 10th book from Finish Line Comics, so you can go on there if you want to know what's happening with the books that I'm putting out. You can go on to Finish Line Comics on all the different social media platforms, and we're the only one there so far, so it makes it easy. And there you can see previews of what's coming up. We're going to start showing the first pages of Corruptor. I'm also writing a series for the new Cthulhu anthology. It's Cthulhu Invades Grim Fairy Tales. And I'm adapting The Fisherman and His Wife. And I'm making it all about the deep ones. So it's a fun story, and I'll start kind of sharing the artwork for that. And that was it was nice because that was the first time I got to write something that wasn't directly connected to this whole Immortal Era universe that I'm building. It's like, let me play in someone else's sandbox and write their stuff, and it's good. It's like, okay, well, that was a good breather. I needed that. And it's also learning, like, you got to be tight. You have 8 pages. We're paying you for 8 pages. You don't get 9. You better tell your story in 8 pages or, start all over again. So it's a good challenge to have. And I can't wait for the story because the art, all the pencils just came back and they're spectacular. We got lots of cool Lovecraft monsters moving around in there.
Nice.
All right, I'm excited for that. I'm excited, and the deep ones too. Like that's another, like all the Dagon and all those. Like I love that stuff. So got excited for that one.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. It'll probably be next year, I'm guessing, because it should launch on Kickstarter later this year. But then of course they have to print it and everything. So I'm guessing early next year. But I did finish my story early, so it might make it into the preview copy. And yeah, I can't wait to have those on the table because you walk around cons, you see all these people that have the Cthulhu anthologies, and those things just fly off their table.
Yeah.
They have a built-in audience. They don't need to hear a pitch. They know that they're going to buy a book. It's going to have 12 new Cthulhu stories that are done by good creators, and they're buying it. You don't have to try to sell them on an idea because they already love it.
It's true. And I feel like weak creators don't mess with Cthulhu. You know what I'm saying? Like it's almost like the subject matter in and of itself is kind of like a barrier to entry. Like
it needs somebody with little like grit.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, Ed, thank you so much for hanging out with us, man. And please, feel free. Like the door's always open for you, man. Like definitely
appreciate that.
Come back and hang out, and we can definitely talk comics some more. And talk Immortal Era.
Sounds good. Appreciate you guys having me on again.
Absolutely,
no problem.
Anytime.
All right, later, Ed.
All right, see you later.
Oh, I missed it. I just pledged to the Kickstarter. I was about to say something, but I went with the $53 package because that's Immortal Era 1 through 9.
Yeah.
The trade paperback and then 7, 8, 9, physical and digital.
Yeah.
And then I added in an issue of Corruptor because I remember he talked about that
last time.
And I wanted to get it, and I got drunk and didn't. So I wanted to make sure I got it this time.
Yeah.
It's
No,
good
I went.
stuff. It's-
I went with the other one because the at the barber shop. I put the hardcover comics, like the ones that could take a beating. Although he said it's rare, I might not put that at the waiting area because like
I hear that.
people be going through these and like they like the stuff I put out, but it's like be gentle. Yeah,
Right. Right. It's like, why are you so mean to books?
yeah. I think I might have to
Indeed.
put in like a bookshelf or something. Yeah, some kind of shelf for books.
Someone should invent that. No.
Yeah, some sort of carpenter.
Tiger Claw says, "Who's the Galactus chick in the trailer?" And I'm assuming he's talking about the Marvel Rivals trailer.
Yeah,
There was like a female Galactus for a hot second in the comics.
but
I'm
she didn't
gonna-
look like that.
Galacta. Yes, he did.
She did.
She
Yeah,
kinda did,
that's
yeah.
Galacta, daughter of Galactus.
All right.
Mhm. Yeah, that's like it's very. I don't
It
know
was
what
like
she should have been.
2010.
I don't know what she should have been named, but it shouldn't have been Galacta.
I mean, you had Gal in there.
Yeah, but
Gal,
done
Acta.
something.
Or like
No, no,
what? Like
oh, what?
Galact Tit? Is that what you were going for?
We should not do that.
Okay.
Look, this is probably what was happening in the room. The cats are like, we're gonna go with Galacta. That's the best we. Galactit. Like what? What? What did he say? Oh my god! Like I tell you, man. Exactly.
Tiger Claw says Galactus is a daughter now. I wonder who the mother is. She was immaculately concepted.
Yeah.
Birth from Galactus's loins.
Jay, man, I haven't had a chance to talk to you, man, but you saw The Devil Late Night with the Devil?
Yeah, I did. Man,
How awesome was it?
dude, that movie was so good. Like almost perfect, near perfect movie.
Damn it. Okay, I can't wait till it gets to Shudder.
And if you don't know what it is, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Late Night with the
I don't know
Devil
what it
is a movie where the premise is you're watching an old 70s talk show, a late night talk show, where they ended up summoning a demon. And so you're watching the show and the behind the scenes stuff that happens during the commercials, all presented to you.
That actually sounds like a great premise.
No, it's awesome. Because mostly it's the feel. Like I don't know how many of you were there. I know some of our audience skews older, but some of our audience skews kind of young. But if you like remember Johnny Carson and
Or Steve Allen, even like it really feels like Steve Allen.
Yeah.
Like even the way the dude talks to the camera, it's like that David Dalmatian guy, like that dude's a real, like he's a real talent that is almost a little not underappreciated, because I think the people that appreciate him just right, but he's underutilized, in these movies, and he's playing all these character bit parts. But he wrote the Crowley comics that are really good, like Monster Hunter, like on Dark Horse, is good stuff. And then this feels like one of the comics he would have written. So I'm like, man, did he write this movie too, or? I don't know how much he had it to do with the movie, but it feels like something he would write,
Right.
How scary is it, Jay?
Not that scary, but it
that
is
means terrifying.
Graphic.
Yeah.
Not scary, but graphic. There is a scene where worms are like coming out of someone, and the effect looks really good. Like it looks practical. So I'm not sure if it's like a mix but it looks like really good. Like there are worms coming out of the guy, and there's a couple other parts where I'm like, oh yeah, that's graphic, like not scary, but definitely graphic.
It's scary. I'm like, I got it now.
Well, Larry was
I
scared
mean-
in the last episode of X-Men '97.
I mean, it's
The
an
one
Inferno.
today,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's supposed to be scary.
dude. I was watching that and I'm like, fuck, if only New Mutants had channeled some of this energy.
Yeah.
Like
Yo,
that
for
would have
real.
been amazing.
Like the scene
Right.
when they're watching TV, was like a scene from New Mutants that they just didn't do right, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Larry was scared. He had to hold my hand.
He wanted it.
Yeah. Like the intern said. You know you want to.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's a really interesting premise, and I wish I could watch it.
Yeah. It might, like thinking on it, I feel like
The audience wants it, Larry.
No,
The
it doesn't
audience
matter what
wants
they
it.
want.
Yeah,
It
the
doesn't
audience
matter.
wants it. It's
No,
either that
I feel-
or Omen.
like everything is kind of segmented. Like you get a lot of breathing room in between events, and until the last, and then you're like bombarded. But you know, it's
Larry's already tortured.
yeah, no,
Just
I,
by-
I wouldn't recommend it to Lawrence. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I would love it if you did watch it,
But for the good of the channel, he must watch it.
Listen,
But yeah,
as soon as
wouldn't
Jay was like, "It's not that scary," I'm like, "Oh, okay, I got it." It's terrifying.
no, it's not that. Like
It is.
when the demon comes, that's actually a really good effect too. But it's just like the skull splitting in half. So it's like just really cool to look at, a cool visual. But there is one
Cool-
part of the
Cool
movie,
you, not for me.
right? There is one cool thing about the movie where I would probably tell Lawrence about it, just because I think that part is like pretty interesting. So I wouldn't make him watch it, but I will tell him about this one part eventually.
Mm-hmm. Subculture girl.
She wants you
She
to watch.
says the first omen, but he cannot look away. Is that going
Yeah.
to be good? Like
It
I'm
looks
hearing,
it looks pretty good, but yeah, I'm a little skeptic on how good it's gonna be. The trailer is good, and I think Larry should watch the trailer without looking away.
like I know I never saw any of the omens.
Oh, man.
They were before my time.
Yeah.
Same with the Exorcist.
Hmm.
But I'm watching the current Exorcist trilogy, which they might change since it didn't do as well as they wanted it to.
Yeah.
But I guess the Omen, they're going to try and do their new trilogy. And so I'm starting there. But I've heard people say, like, some people are like really skeptical about the movie and the team and like if they're going to get the feeling right. And
So-
if it's like going to be good for the legacy of the original series.
The way that Emily explained it to me was it might be good for the legacy of it because it's more of a prequel to everything you've seen. So it's they're actually like trying to make this Antichrist come out. And the only thing that's gonna fuck it up probably is the other movie, Immaculate, because that's kind of like the similar premise, and that looks a lot better.
Not really.
No, it's not good. You watched that too, right?
Yeah, I watched it. No, I mean premise wise.
Okay.
Like basically, and I feel like you get this from the commercial, but maybe not. So spoilers if you wanted to see Immaculate. It's about a nun goes to a church, convent, whatever, and she just ends up pregnant, and she doesn't know how that happened, but the church is treating her like she's like special, and she's like, no, I really think I need to go see a doctor, like a real doctor about this. And they're like, no, you don't have to do that, just stay here. And eventually she's like, no, I need, like, I'm leaving. And they're like, no, you're not. So that's like a little different.
So, it's not even like, it's not a special baby, like, at all? Like,
it is. Okay, this will totally spoil it.
Okay, do it.
If, like, yeah, spoilers for Immaculate. They found one of the nails that they crucified Jesus with,
Uh-huh.
and they're taking the genetic material and cloning it and putting it into women to try and rebirth Jesus.
So it's J23.
Right.
I'm in.
And,
I like this. This is like a comic book. I'm in.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, my brother's gonna love this movie.
I won't tell you what happens.
Yeah, but that's what it is. Okay, so
that's what it is.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So Omen. Oh, I think Omen's gonna be good. I'm excited for that.
I hope so.
But you gotta watch the OG one. Maybe like, if not the OG one, the remake, because the remake is really good too. It just wasn't as successful as the first one.
If they're on Prime, right? If they're on Amazon, then they're cheap.
No. I'll get you. Like, we're gonna do a Fantastic Forum Fright Night or some shit, and we'll get preview copies.
Oh, nice.
We'll get screeners.
Well, since we're talking about scary movies, should we move on to Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire?
Yeah, your lollipop scary movie.
What? How dare you?
Real quickly though, before we move on, I don't know if we talked about this on the show, but Larry might be about to watch one of the Amityville movies.
Ooh, which one?
Amityville in the Hood.
Oh shit!
Like, I told him about it, and when he was drunk, he wanted to, like, he was on board to watch it. Like,
when he was
next
drunk.
time I asked him, he was sober. He was kind of like, I don't know. I'm giving him a couple of weeks to, like, steel himself up.
That's what you call consent. You see how these cases happen?
That's, for the record, that's not consent. No,
no. But I'm saying, like, the consent in the sober is a true one. The drunk one isn't. Like, he's got his fear pussy's ready for this horror movie, but when he's sober, it's dry as fuck. That's you wanting to take in all the horror. Like, you ready for it. You're adventurous when you're a drunk girl.
I'm 100% out now.
Weighing your,
give it like that. I don't want no parts of whatever Bo's doing.
Now that you're weighing in and you're unmanly 220,
Listen,
dude, are you 220 now?
No, absolutely not. Those 220, not yet. Eventually,
I was about to say that's impressive.
Like Larry did his hard 75, and he lost like 80 pounds or some shit.
No, I lost 50.
I was only able to do a hard 2.
Like, send me a PDF. I think I'm gonna start doing that.
Send me a PDF. I will send you a PDF, Jay. I'll send you, but I'll eventually I'll get there anyway. But I might mess around and go watch this straight with Jay. Like, honestly, I think it was partially just that it felt like Jay really wanted us to watch it together.
Okay.
And don't get me wrong, like it came across different. I don't know why. Like something about the way he was telling me about it. It wasn't like, I feel like other movies, Jay's like, he says, "Oh, we should go watch this," but what he really wants to do is actually just watch me be scared of it, you know. But for this, it almost felt like he was like, "No, no, I really want us to watch it together for some reason," and I was just
Everything sounds different with Jack Daniels filter.
like, "That's what it was." Yeah, I definitely.
Larry's an Evan Williams man.
I do like Evan Williams.
He's a frou umbrella drink man.
I like all alcohol.
Loosely.
Listen, I'll take shots. I'll do umbrella drinks. We can do wine coolers if you buy the right ones.
Let's not get ghetto.
He just doesn't want to do beer or IPAs.
Yeah. I don't like beer. I like wine, but not beer. So
Angry Orchard is good,
but it's probably one of the better ones from my perspective. But
but that's just
it's messed up though.
That's apple juice. That's apple juice,
right?
Apple juice is awesome.
Yeah, I love apple juice. Yeah,
I love Oktoberfest, but I don't like beer. So that sucks.
You just want sausage.
When you right, that's what it is. It's like my fear pussy. See, it just sounded weird to even say it. Like, ugh.
Yeah, when you say it, it's bad. I don't like it.
Yeah, it sounded terrible. Oh my god,
it was good when I said it, but when you said it, it was bad.
Hey, okay. Oh, good. Okay, there it is. Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire. We got
do you have the movie music?
Yeah, give me 2 seconds here.
Awesome. Yeah, man.
My computer's running at full speed and I put these things to like not let it like overheat, so it's actually working. I just can't hear myself.
Oh no. Well,
yeah,
you sound good, so don't worry about it. Just say what you say. You're good.
Yeah, totally.
We'll let you know if you start sounding crazy. Well,
you never do.
That's true. Listen, we've already gotten all the way into fear vaginas, right? So.
Scary comic book review. Scary comic book like review. Well, not like that, but scary comic book review. Scary comic book like review. Well, not like that, but like.
We'll take it. So we're not talking about comic book, but we are talking about Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire. No, hey, it's all right. Look, they're the Ghostbusters, man. Look, you got to steal yourself.
It's too long.
That's just the audio. Just like, yeah, I think that's just the audio.
Yeah.
But anyway, Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire. Who wants to tell our audience what this is all about? Who's ready? What's that say?
Bustin'.
Bustin'. We have a younger audience now. That's what they say. These kids. Whack ass kids.
You look like you're getting ready to talk, Jay. You should go for it.
But I kind of wanted to do Web of Spider-Man.
Oh, really? You're gonna snatch that from Moses? That's fair. Like Moses talked about enough Spider-Man. There, like okay,
you could do that too. Like as long as we hurry up with the Frozen Empire, you could do that too.
Right. No, yeah.
All right, so Frozen Empire starts out with a toy commercial for a drone and a remote control car, and then they get into a story about the girl being too young to be a Ghostbuster because she's like 15, and the guy from the first movie is like being a dick. And then like there's an artifact from a mage, like a wizard or something, and it hits a prison, and they like ignore the prison, like they just kind of let it be there, and like they know it's trouble, but they just don't care, so they kind of let it go, and then Slimer has an ass crack, and the teenagers trying to catch him, and then the big bag like breaks out of the prison, and he starts collecting all the ghosts from the ghost uh, containment unit because they built it in the 80s and now it's full. And so then the mage comes and he like fights him. Something else happens, and then it's kind of like I think they beat him, and then I think that's it.
I gotta tell you, Jay, like that movie you just described sounds terrible.
It was not great. It was not great. From the toy commercial, I think that put me in a bad mood. Like, I don't know if you know this or remember it. I'm sure you guys do. You guys are fans, but the audience, what a proton pack does is it wrangles a ghost so that you can maneuver it towards a trap.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a lasso.
Yeah, this chick is just hitting the ghost with it for no reason. Like, she's not wrangling it. All she's doing is causing like property damage. And they have a little toy remote control drone trap, which like all you need is a trap to trap a ghost. Like if they had gotten that drone in front of it, then it would have been trapped. And I'm not sure the writers know that. Like,
but even
she
like
was really hanging on to it, like it was doing something.
I didn't see the movie, but like I've seen similar situations like that work out even in like Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters Extreme. You know, where it's like they in Ghostbusters Extreme is like they're taking liberties and they're still doing stuff the way it should. You know.
Yeah. I just know, like, I kind of wish that chick was 18.
Why?
Because then they could have recreated the scene from Ghostbusters 1 where he gets the blowjob. Like, they could have recreated that with their ghost friend because she makes a friend that's a ghost. Like, if she was 18, they could have recreated that. But she's 15, so they have to just talk and play chess together.
That's nice.
Oh, sheesh, man. So wait, so
I mean, there's no legal precedent that would get a ghost put in jail for that. So, like,
yeah, but I mean, you can't really show it
or
imply it because the moral guardians will get upset.
Right.
At a 15-year-old getting her snacks licked on screen. Unless it's a cartoon, then you can do it, I guess. Like Big Mouth does that.
It says Diddy's gonna ring up Jay now.
No. See, I don't. Yeah, you can't call me. You're not gonna phone me. You're not gonna find me on any boards or message boards. No, I go to the movies and then I go home. Like that's it.
And like, not even like Pee-wee.
If I've seen something I'm not supposed to, it's because someone put it in the theater.
Wait, so like, let me understand what, like, you're talking about the actual commercial for the Ghostbusters, like toys back in the day being included in the movie, that put you in the wrong space? Or you're talking about
No, her trying to
the
proton
actual
pack.
traps?
No, the toy traps are but like whatever. Like they gotta sell. It's a movie for children. Like they gotta sell toys. But the fact that she's holding on to this, what was it, a sewer dragon?
Yeah,
with the
something like
proton
that.
pack is like, that's nonsense. Like, let it go. Like, just get the trap in front of it.
Right.
Like, that annoyed me.
Mm-hmm.
And that I think that was what put me in the toys. I was like, okay, that's slocky, but whatever, you know. But then she's holding on to that, and then Slimer had a butt crack, and I was like, that's unnecessary. That is, and then the little marshmallow man ghosts were like, oh yeah, that's kids will love that shit. Oh my god. Like, it makes me want to rewatch the first Ghostbusters, because the first Ghostbusters was like amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could call it shit, but I enjoyed it, and it was childish humor, but adult childish.
Okay.
Hex says that he says, I heard when they wrote the movie that it was based off the toys more than anything. And that's kind of like, if that's true, like that's kind of sucks, because that's what made Batman Forever bad. You know, like they're basing it off of like the '60s show. You know,
they do have a new proton pack where it like connects to your arm, like your Iron Man.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Oz, did you see this joint?
Yeah, I saw it.
And I mean, I don't mean to sound completely down on it. Like, it did have some moments where it wasn't sucking. Like, I feel like overall I enjoyed it. Overall, I enjoyed it, but the things that I didn't like, I really didn't like. And it's like easy to see, like, what was done to entertain the children. Like to keep it was what was done to keep the children entertained. Like, it's really easy to see.
Okay.
But what did you think, Oz?
You know, I suggested the movie because I liked Afterlife.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was pretty good, and I was expecting kind of like a family based ghost busting team type of movie.
Mm-hmm.
And you can kind of see where they try to do that, but what's his face from Stranger Things? Like, you could take him out of the movie and nothing, like, you don't lose anything. In fact, all the kids except for maybe the main girl, you can just get rid of, and it's the same movie. Yeah, the Slimer thing was dumb. I'm tired of Kunal Nanjiani. Like, dude plays the same character every movie now. Like, he's just the same dude. And it's he's not even entertaining. His whole, like, what they did with his character, the firebenders, I guess, was stupid. Yeah, man, this was bad. I like what they did with the original Ghostbusters. You know, the what's his face that is now wealthy and funding them, and then Ray still has his little shop. Doesn't need that little kid there. Like, that's another character that annoyed me. There's a good story there, and they just chose not to tell it. Even Paul Rudd is hitting that borderline of he's starting to be the same character too. Like, if he shrunk, he's Ant-Man. He's Ant-Man in this movie. Same as in Quantumania. In fact, same problems, basically. So he's starting to hit that line where he's playing the same character, and I'm getting tired of him too. Fortunately, he's a little bit better than Kunal, so he's getting a little bit more leeway, but he's pushing it. He's definitely pushing it. I don't like that everybody's a Ghostbuster now. Like as you get to the third act, everybody has a outfit with their name and their individual weapons. Like Jay said, a new old Ghostbuster suddenly has this like handgun. Well, handgun. Like
it's like an arm cannon,
Iron
an
Man,
arm.
like Iron
Yeah.
Man thing that shoots out.
Yeah.
I don't even remember if it shot out a beam or like pulses, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense because the whole point of the beam is to kind of like lasso the ghost while you get the trap in place. And yeah,
Right.
Jay's right. The opening chase scene, like they're in New York. Can you drive that fast in New York? Like really?
No.
And then they mess up with the little remote control trap. So I thought like the drone trap, I thought, oh, that's a cool idea. That's something they could have, that was kind of interesting. But doesn't really go anywhere. You know.
I mean, they use it.
Yeah, but I think that was just to kind of like sell toys.
That could be the case.
Maybe some kind of drone trap or something like that.
Well, it's interesting listening to you all's perspective, just because I know for me, like I actually really liked the movie, and while I can definitely understand and see the criticisms that you all put forth, I don't know that it like did the movie in for me, just because I thought it was like fun, and also I thought like the story felt like a Ghostbuster story to me. You know, like it
Yeah,
had
the
like
story is good. They just do a lot of stuff, and like I said, I did overall enjoy the movie, but the things that bugged me really bugged me.
right.
There's just so much. There's just so much disbelief I can set aside.
Right.
In a movie about ghosts, okay, but don't tell me a tiny 15-year-old girl is walking through New York at night by herself and sits down to set up a chessboard at night.
Right. Right.
You know, at
So
least
she
shoot
could
that
play
in the
chess
day.
up by herself or with herself.
Yeah,
Right.
at
No,
least
I agree with
that
you.
in the day. Like little things like that would have made
Yeah.
a difference. And her
I
whole
definitely
thing with the ghost that she befriends, like when they meet, I guess it was trying to be funny, but it wasn't. Like it just, there was no chemistry there. At least in that scene for sure. And then it escalates like really quickly as far as what this chick is willing to do for this ghost that she just met.
Yeah.
Like she's doing it
I
for
agree
a
with
day
you.
and is risking her life.
Yeah. And I think you're right with the kids in regards to like, you know, the role that they play in the movie. And in some ways, I'm not mad at that, just because, you know, everybody, I mean, they are children, or they're playing children, and so they
Well, the
like,
ones at the institute are like college kids, right?
well, not like the intern is the same, like she was in the first movie, or so I was told after the fact. You know,
she's about 18, I guess, because she's around the same age as the brother.
Right.
In fact, they were in class
Right.
together. I think that's how they were.
Right. Which blew my mind, because like the only kids I remembered were like the initial family kids, and I didn't remember that, you know, that young lady and then the other kid that was with Ray were in the first movie. Like, you know,
well, the two non-white kids you forgot about. Got it.
No, I forgot to.
I mean,
Right. I just assumed. Well, I assumed the black chick was in the other movie because he knew her, like you said her name.
Yeah.
And
Like,
the other kid, I didn't know. But I don't have much a problem with the kid thing. Like, I was a huge fan of Extreme Ghostbusters.
right.
And that show was just like kids right in college
Mm-hmm.
becoming Ghostbusters. And it didn't exactly give off that kind of vibe, but close enough that I can be like, okay, like,
Yeah.
Okay.
See, and
Two things.
oh,
Real
good.
quick.
Two
Mo,
things.
turn down your mic. And two, let me pitch this idea to you, Jay, because this is what I kind of expected, especially based on the way it began. Is I expected a movie where this family is ghost busting and all that stuff still happens, where they tell the girl, you're 15, you shouldn't be out there ghost busting. And so I expected something like the parents get replacement team members from Winston. And so you have these adult Ghostbusters out there, and now the kids are like they end up solving the mystery of this new villain or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's not necessarily the kids bug me, is that they don't contribute anything to the story except
For
for
the main one.
the main one. But
Right.
all the
Right.
other kids are, even the one in the institute, like you don't need her. They just don't do anything. And I think something like where they Stranger Things it up, and while the adults are out there fighting the ghosts, like they figure out the real threat and then get together at the end as a family to fight the threat.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's
Which is
kind of what expecting.
Which is kind of what happens, but just not the way
but
you
only
said
kind
it.
of.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I will say one of like the highlights of the movie was when dude almost gets his hand like frozen off.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, a sense of peril, and I was hoping that it would kind of revolve, like that would evolve into something with the institute, kind of going after, like figuring shit out.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't go that route. It goes the I was a bad guy the whole time route. And I was like, yeah, okay. I mean, I guess.
Right.
Like, the ghost is evil. Never seen that before.
So Mo didn't watch it, right?
No.
There's firebenders.
Oh, I mean,
but they're firebenders from the M. Night Shyamalan.
Yes. I was gonna say something like that. Yeah. He's only half joking too. Like that's the thought I had when I saw that scene.
Absolutely.
Well, like I wanted to see it, but I haven't seen the first one, and then I don't think there's anywhere where I can stream the first one for free. And then I hadn't had time to like write and be like, "Hey guys, we're talking about this. I need to see the first one. Can we get a preview copy or whatever?" You know?
Right.
So So I just haven't gotten around to do it and dealing with the shit I've been dealing with. So it's like I'm not gonna make it.
I was shocked that it wasn't readily available for people to watch.
I don't know if you have cable, but FX, I think you can watch it for free there.
Yeah, but it's FXM, which is technically on Hulu considered a live movie channel. So you get you have to have the live TV subscription to have it, which is like $75 a month. And I'm like, for FX movies, and they're censored. Like, everything is censored. I tried watching one. I forgot what I tried watching, and it was censored. I'm like, that movie is not supposed to be that censored. Like, I'd rather just watch the Blu-ray. You know?
Mm-hmm. I will say that I really did like the I liked the main bad guy. Like, like I felt like it was like a very Ghostbusters feeling kind of threat. And like the effects were good in my opinion as well for that. Like I liked like how it looked. I liked how it moved and like interacted with the world and whatnot. I thought that was pretty cool, and it, and it definitely was like, it felt like something that could be perilous, and I would definitely agree that it didn't quite like go there in the same way that it could have, I guess, or in the way that
Yeah, visually the movie was fine. The
yeah.
effects were on point. It's just a story, really.
And I do like the bad guy too. Like, you feel like you came straight out of the cartoon.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
yeah, it's just
see,
like the only thing with him, and this is just, I think, yeah, like all the other stuff was bugging me, but they kept his horns in like a room, and there's a scene where he goes and gets them, and I'm like, yeah, that's. I mean, I've seen it done, like stuff like that done before,
right?
But it just felt a little too casual.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
it's the same room they had the Pokeball,
right?
So they just kept all his stuff there.
Like, why?
Like
if he gets out of the ball, then his horns are right there.
That's true. Why not destroy them?
He can't get out the ball if it's all in the room, because that was the whole thing. Like the whole thing. And don't get me wrong, it's like
honest, like if it were me, I would have had two of those rooms, one with the horn, one with the orb, and I would put them away from each other. Like,
brass is pretty cheap. You can make two rooms.
Like one in New York, one in California. Like, if he wants his horns, let him fucking buy plane tickets.
One in the Fire Nation and one in the Water Nation.
It's interesting because as much as I did like the villain, I definitely felt like, okay, it like they definitely handle it kind of hand wavy, where they're like, oh, this is what happens, and just just because like it's like because I was sitting here like, we got to like a lore section and I was like, oh, okay, cool, like I'm ready for this, like what's the lore?
That was a
and I'm like,
section too.
Huh?
That lore section went on a little bit long too. It was interesting. I liked it, but dude,
the execution of it was interesting. It does go on long, or maybe. Well, here's the thing: it feels long because it doesn't say anything. Like that's why it feels long. Like it's not like they're like really giving you information. They're just more so being like, yeah, man, it's an evil thing, and it fought these other people that are good, and they were able to trap it, and and it's like they were able to trap it like this, but it's like none of it is like because of this or therefore that happened. It's like all of it is just like and then and so it's like you're looking like they found an interesting way to present that information, but they forgot to make it information. So that kind of sucks because it's like, oh man,
I'm not even joking about this. That section starts. They get to the firebenders and they, what they do, and I'm watching and going, okay, so I know what happened. Good. I run out to go pee real quick, come back, the lore's still going.
Yeah.
It's like, man. And it's not like I missed anything because when it ends, I know I still know everything.
Yeah, that's 100%, and that's like the wild part where I'm like, man, I don't know who messed around and needed a favor. Somebody was like, hey man, you told me you were going to give my studio this amount of minutes of work, and it's time for you to time for you to pay up. And they're like, okay, I got this Ghostbuster movie. It kind of felt like that a little bit, but it was like the studio did good work though. Like it's not like it was like, oh man, this sucks to watch. It was just the substance wasn't there. So I'm like, man, yeah. I will say too, I did not notice.
Spirit Guide.
Say what, Jay?
They needed to reference Tobin's Spirit Guide. Like that would have helped.
I was gonna say, Jay, I did not notice Slimer's butt crack.
Oh, it's pretty pronounced. It's yeah,
Like
like
I know he turned around, and I agree too. Like the Slimer stuff is like it's unnecessary, and it's like literally again, it's like we got to give the kid something to do, and it's like,
But also,
man,
like,
at least involve Slimer in like the resolution of the story or something. Otherwise, it's just pointless.
well, he eats the spirit that jumps from objects, and
that did happen.
it's not a lot, but it's definitely not worth it. Like that wasn't worth
Yeah.
including him in the movie.
Would it surprise you guys that Frozen Empire had half the budget as Afterlife?
Wow, that would
Really?
surprise me.
Yeah, I'm looking at
Half
you know what?
the budget?
Sorry. I was looking at the wrong thing. My bad.
Oh, okay. I'm like that doesn't make
Afterlife
any
is
sense.
actually
Like
75 and Frozen Empire is 100. My bad.
okay, that makes more sense.
I was looking at the wrong. My spreadsheet was off. I apologize.
Got it.
Corrections and retractions.
I was like, how did they do that? Because I'm like,
But still, it's $100 million movie. Like the effects look really, really good for
That's
a
true.
budget like that, especially in like the Marvel era where movies have to cost $250 million to make.
right. Yeah, no, I agree. And
No,
and
Marvel's
the
not
effects
doing
don't look
that
as
no
good. Say what now?
Like Marvel's hasn't been doing that for like 3 years.
They ain't got it like that
That
anymore.
is true.
Yeah.
That is true. Like not since the Avengers joints, right?
Yeah.
And it's noticeable.
Yeah.
right. Right. But man,
I
so
can't find the the screenshot of Slimer's butt.
oh, I don't need it. I
But
don't need it.
You can
I
imagine.
can't find the movie screenshot, but they do have the toy.
And the toy has a butt crack?
Yeah, the toy based on this movie.
There was also a Slimer popcorn bucket, but I've got too many popcorn buckets.
That's hilarious.
That's what it looked like. Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Like,
It's got a pimple on it.
and a dimple.
There it is. For those of you that like the cheeks, Slimer's there for you.
Slimer's a Kardashian now.
Damn. It's like somewhere one of the Kardashians is dropping a tear for that comment.
They can't drop
Like,
tears.
I
There's
felt it.
too much Botox.
Yeah, Mo, you're not missing too much. Definitely watch Afterlife. That's a way better movie.
Yeah, Afterlife is good.
I shed a tear in Afterlife.
No, like
So even
here's
with
the thing.
with the dudes like coming back for this one, it's still Afterlife was the better movie.
Yeah, because they came back better in that one.
Yeah, they were in Afterlife.
Bill
Yeah.
Murray was just cashing the check in this one, but you know what?
Yeah.
He was actually good. Like, he's in it for like 2-3 minutes, and it's a good 2-3 minutes.
100%. Like the way they used the original guys in this movie was fantastic. And it is one of those things where it's like, unfortunately, there's a lot of other fluff that would have been awesome to like get rid of.
Is
and
it the same
expand.
director that did the first one?
It's his son.
No,
At least
no.
in Afterlife,
Oh.
it was his son.
Yeah, but in this one, was it his son too?
I don't think so. I think it's a different director.
Oh, see that
Right.
makes sense.
Yeah. But it would have been nice to see some of those other ideas expanded a little bit. The only one that gets a little wonky is Ray. Like, even though but it still kind of fits with the character just because Ray is a wonky character. I really loved like the Ray Winston dynamic. It was really good.
I would watch Ray's version of Antique Roadshow. Like, I would just
Right.
watch that.
Right. What are you gonna say, Jay?
The only thing about Ray in this movie is like I'm used to him getting like really excited about ghosts,
Mhm.
and like to have the spear and be like, oh, okay, you guys take it, I'm out. It's like it feels like I guess he is older now, and like,
Yeah.
but a little
And plus, they were like,
disappointing. Like especially considering like he did go to the library and fight ghosts there.
right.
Then he met
But
that ghost again.
but
So how about for like a third one? Like you think for the third one we like need to like cut the shit and just bring in the Winchesters?
I would say that for any Ghostbuster movies. Just fucking Winchesters will show up to traps. We're gonna show you how to murder these fuckers. Which actually is like, that actually would have solved half the problems in this movie for the characters.
It's like True Blood would have been like one season with the Winchesters. And it's like there was an episode of True Blood where it's like, oh, they had a late 70s vehicle with BF Goodrich tires from like 78. That's the Impala. And it's like the Winchesters are there. Like, yeah, your problems are fixed. but no, it
My
wasn't.
only issue with the third movie is these movies tend to have like what they call spectacle creep, and where everything has to be bigger and more bombastic. It's like you don't have to. You can still do like someone just make it interesting and different. And so like I'm worried about them trying to go like too big.
Well, that's the shit they say about superhero movies too, where it's like you got to make them bigger and more epic, and it's like, nah, you can like in the end, it's all about the story, and if you neglect the story, you're just gonna miss it, no matter how big the movie is. If the
Right.
story's not there, it's just not there, you know.
Right. So that's the only thing I'm worried about with the third part. Like I think it has the potential to be good, but they would really need to like try to make it good. Like I would invite them to go watch like the first season of Extreme Ghostbusters.
How
And,
good is like Jay? How good is that cartoon though? Like,
dude, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like before the moms and censors got to it.
yeah,
Like in fact, even after it's good.
it's still
but-
good. Yeah, even like the theme song like was like this just like Dark Knight, 9 Inch Nails like type of industrial like metal song. It's like that. It was a really good like it had the humor, but it was dark because it's like you're dealing with like demon shit. You know?
Yeah, and ghosts that actually hurt people.
Yeah.
Like until the second season, and everything just magically got fixed at the end. But whatever, the stories were still there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my only thing.
Do we need an Infinity War with Ghostbusters where we get the chicks, we get the extreme people, we get the original cast, and really like
We pretty much got an Infinity War scene at the end of this.
Yeah.
Well, they're missing what's homeboy's name? The Keymaster.
Oh yeah, Rick Moranis.
Yeah, Rick Moranis is like the only one missing from these movies.
Yeah, he doesn't think they're worth. No, I'm not gonna say that wrong. I was about to say it wrong, but you know, he's retired.
Yeah, he's
and
retired.
So he's like he said to come out of retirement, it's got to be something like special and heart like that just like touches him.
Feels good, yeah.
And
I think Afterlife.
He's not going to come out for Ghostbusters, and that's Lawrence tells me it's respectable.
Yeah, I mean,
I think he should have came out for Afterlife because that was dedicated to the Ghostbusters that we lost.
it's like Rick Moranis was in Inner Space, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be what'll do it. The Inner Space reboot.
But no, but you can't do that because the other dude's dead. Like the space and inner space is dead.
Well, I mean, get somebody else.
What if he was lost inside the inner space and the dude's dead and he can't get out?
Oh my god,
That's a
that'd
good
be
movie.
crazy.
He's coming out of retirement.
So
All
should
right.
we rate?
Yeah, now's the time. So, Oz, what would you rate Ghostbusters Frozen Empire?
I'm gonna go with 3, with the caveat that wait till it's out of theaters and you can stream it for free. Like it's entertaining, and there's a lot of good there, and visually it's great. It's entertaining. It's just not that great. Yes.
Jay, what would you rate Ghostbusters Frozen Empire?
Yeah, I'll give it a 3. Like I said, the stuff, like, it's an entertaining movie, but the stuff that bugged me, that's really bugged me. And you might not even feel the same way, but I'm just gonna give it a 3 because at the end of the day, I did enjoy the movie.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna give Ghostbusters Frozen Empire a 4 because I enjoyed it a lot. It feels very much like a Ghostbusters adventure, and it's not going to be the best movie by any means, but it's a good time. I would say it's worth going to check out in the theater. Yeah. Mo, what would you rate the review?
The review is a 4. It didn't deter me from wanting to see it. I already wanted to see it, and then with hearing what you guys thought about it, like I can see the things that Joe says like might bug me, but I still don't think they would make that a bad movie. And it could still be fun. And then I if I enjoyed the first one, I would definitely would have to see this with irregardless of your review. So 4 is
Yeah, I would definitely say like the first one tugs on the heartstrings, definitely. And this one doesn't do that as much, but there's a lot more ghost busting. So
I do like the family. I did like the family drama. Honestly, yeah. I thought that was decent.
I thought the family drama was better in Afterlife.
It was better, but I think this is a good continuation of it. Like with Paul Rudd trying to be a dad, but not really knowing his place. Like,
right.
I thought that was interesting.
Even the whole dynamic of Home Chick like being too young to ghost bust, and just like that angst in that is like that was good stuff, and we didn't stay there long. but I was like, I thought like for a minute I thought that's what the movie was going to be about, and
that's the biggest problem with this movie is something interesting happens and we don't stay there long.
Right. right. Like you can make a whole movie about what Winston's doing. Like that could be a whole movie. And right, 100%. I would watch that joint. Like I'm like, I like that concept.
I watched this 6-episode miniseries. Like
6-episode miniseries with Winston. Or they're just like Zedmore.
Dude, I would watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's good stuff. Man, and I tell you, man, it's wild. Like as much as as much as I enjoyed the Winston and Ray dynamic, when those two dudes are standing next to each other, I was like, dude, like these cats don't look like they were playing in the same era. You know what I'm saying?
And then when Bill Murray gets at and stands next to them, you're like, whoa.
It's like what is going on? Like are these guys all like they're all like the same age, weren't they? Not anymore.
It would have been weird because it was supposed to be Eddie Murphy and
right.
John Belushi instead of Bill Murray. Dude. And yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. That's a whole different movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
A quick heavy metal minute. Check out My Favorite Color is Pizza by Belushi Speedball. It's a good song.
And
My
then
favorite color is Belushi.
and then they stood
No,
next
maybe
to Harold Ramis, and it's just like a tombstone.
My Favorite Color is Pizza by Belushi Speedball.
Got it. My favorite color is pizza. I'm with that.
Yeah. It's a good song. It's a good song.
Yeah.
Wasn't Slimer supposed to be Belushi?
I don't know. You tell me.
I think he was. Or a tribute to Belushi because he couldn't be in the movie.
Oh, damn. That sucks. Why is that the tribute?
I don't think he was because he ate a lot. I don't think he was dead yet. I don't like it wasn't like that.
Oh, no. I know he wasn't dead yet. I'm just trying to figure out. I'm like, dude, if I was Belushi, I'd be offended.
Nah,
He's like, since you're gonna be in the movie, we made a ghost for you, and then you see Slimer, and it's like, that's me
with
that's
the butt crack.
The butt crack.
Yeah,
that's when Slimer still had a tail.
From Ghostbusters was inspired by John Belushi and created in a drug-induced delirium. I mean, that sounds about right. There's a paywall, so I can't read more of the article. But,
Is it the press?
Right.
Is it the press telegram? Because I can give you my password.
National Post, but I mean that we're done with this. We can move on.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and switch.
Comic book review. Comic book review. Well, not like that, but like.
Yes. All right, Jake, take us home.
Spider-Man #1 is an $8 commercial that you pay for all the Spider-Man shit coming up. You get like a couple of pages of like about 4 pages or so of what to expect in the books for the coming year. And normally you would give this away for like free comic book day, but they wanted to charge like $9 for it or $8 for it. So that but the art is good, I guess.
Dude, Grave Goblin, dude.
The what goblin?
Grave Goblin. That's what he's called, right?
Grave Goblin.
Yeah,
Grave Goblin.
Let me find my accent.
Versus the gold.
Yeah, but the gold one's stupid.
It's all stupid.
Yeah, there it is. Thank you. Yeah. I was like, it's all stupid.
I mean, artistically, Grave Goblin looks amazing. Like
interesting.
I like that.
No, but I mean, he looks fine, but there's no reason for him to exist.
Listen, I was watching that, and I was just like, please, God, don't let there be like a story of where this thing came from.
Oh, there is. It's
no, I'm sure there is somewhere, but not in this
happened.
book.
It's what you didn't read. It was the Black Cat and Mary Jane. Inferno, like Dark Web Inferno, like section, the Limbo stuff. Like he's a dude that came back. Like they got stuck after they fixed everything.
Oh, okay.
Is the whole Insidious 6 like that, or is it?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
The whole he's part of the Insidious 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're all people that got stuck, or demons that got stuck in this plane when they fixed the dark web stuff.
Do they all like kind of favor a motif of one of the Sinister Six?
His glider is a coffin with wings. Come on.
I mean, no, like artistically, like you said, it looks tight. Like if that was a logo for like a punk band or like the Necromantic's new album, like I'm in. But motherfuckers don't need to be Spider. Like again, he's not fit to fight Spider-Man, so he's fighting the Gold Goblin. You know? So it's like you got no reason to exist in comics other than just look cool. Yeah.
Allegedly,
sometimes that's all you need, though.
No, you don't. Like that's the problem. Like we're getting into a Spider-Man territory now where it's like Wolverine territory, where you had a bunch of
100%.
so it's like there's too many. Like the Spider people we got are cool, and we have them displaced from different timelines and shit after the Hunger and all that and Secret Wars. Like, so we have a few, and it's like, you know what? Go back to your fucking timeline now. Like, get the fuck out of my 616. And then now they're doing a bunch of other stuff where like these villains are becoming like hero types, like like
Right.
Osborn, and it's like you don't need that. Like that motherfucker could have stayed dead. Like after Dark Reign, like. He could have had Harry, and they had the Grey Goblin. That was a different thing. Like, okay, that's gonna be that. That was interesting, even with the whole omit the one moment in time thing. Like, it was still interesting. This shit isn't.
Yeah.
Is Chasm? Is that the 616, or is he like from?
He's 616. He's the spawn of Marvel right now.
The spawn of Marvel?
Yeah.
Oh! I'm sorry. You're talking about like the character spawn.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay. Yeah. I was like, what does that mean? The spawn of Marvel? I was like, okay, but I understand what you're saying.
Well, that's why I asked the question, because he looks like Spawn, and it's Ben Reilly. I don't know if he was a regular character or if he's like Grave Goblin, where like a survivor from something else.
But Chasm is like bad though, right?
Again, Marvel Disney can't have a hellbound creature be like good. Like, that'll offend too many Christians, and they need them to watch the Bluey special coming out on April 17th.
But he's fighting demons in this thing.
In this thing now, yeah, but that's after the effects of Dark Web. But eventually, he's still bad. Like, he did the Faustian deal. They just didn't they're not focusing on him being technically again, what you're gonna see with Chasm is something you would have read in Spawn 27. At this point, the shit's been done, and it's been done better by independent comics.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Just as an aside, the new Sam and Max series started today.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Rat City's coming out in another I'm excited for Rat City. And I should have prepared that as a news story with like an actual like build up and everything. You can't, if you ask me what Rat City is, I can't tell you because I've been busy with other shit at work that I can't talk about on the air. But Rat City is like this new like street level Spawn story. It's like, man, with the Scorch and everything, we had all that. I just bought everything on Humble Bundle as a Mo deal, and now you give me a new book. I was like, you motherfuckers. But yeah, the new Salmon Twitch dropped, and then Rat City's coming out in about 2 weeks or so. Right in time with the Bluey special. Hector was asking, when's the Bluey special? Yeah, I think it's somewhere in April, beginning of April.
So, yeah, like I mean, the main purpose of this book, which Jay described it as a $8 or $9 commercial.
Yeah,
and you're not wrong, because it is just.
From that, I do recuse myself because I got it as a comp from Marvel. Thank you to the PR people. But yeah, so it was like, to me, it was a preview for like, here, you're a member of the press, take this.
Right. But
which
there's
is what
like,
it should have been.
Right. But it's kind of like teasing a bunch of different things happening on the Spider-Man side of the Marvel Universe. It looks like they're getting ready to bring Gwen Stacy into the 616, or like Spider-Gwen or Ghost Spider, whichever way.
Really? Because there's two Gwen Stacy stories.
Yeah.
Like there's two Gwen Stacy stories, and one I thought was the main one because he's actually Ghost Spider in that. But then there's one where she's the Goblin.
Yeah, Green Goblin.
That's Edge of Spider-Verse. So that's that's something different.
Yeah, I think.
Hey, wasn't Across the Spider-Verse 2 supposed to come out in March? What the fuck?
I'm sorry, what?
I thought Edge of Spider-Verse 2, Across the Spider-Verse 2, the movie was
Oh, it got
supposed to come out.
delayed. Yeah, it got
It's
delayed.
Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Beyond the Spider-Verse. That shit.
Yeah. I don't think it comes out now until next year, right?
What the
Right.
fuck?
But they did release a short that came out today.
Oh shit.
You can check it out on the Sony YouTube channel.
I didn't see it.
It's a 7-minute joint. I don't know what it's about. I just know it came out today.
I'm gonna watch it after the show.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm seeing Beyond the Spider-Verse scheduled for the 29th?
Of what? Of this month?
Of this year. Is that like
of March?
At
an
old ass article?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, that's old.
Yeah, it got delayed. So
till when?
But yeah, I think until next year.
Was it because of the strike? Because then I'm
I think it was because of the strike.
Okay,
like
fucking
nobody, nobody could record anything. So
pieces of shit don't want to work. Fucking union cocksuckers.
As a member of a union myself, fuck those.
Yeah, you're a union cocksucker.
Yeah,
yeah,
all the cock.
Yeah. Fucking.
So yeah,
I'm an independent contractor. I do my shit the way I want it.
Spider
done.
Yeah, fuck
Spider-Gwen.
Fuck you too, Larry.
Sword 6. Oh, okay.
Sorry, I'm on a fuck you rent. I got fuck you momentum. But yes, go ahead. Spider-Gwen 606. Continue.
Yeah, but
fuck you, why you do that?
Then you love me.
Oh jeez.
I see you ruined it. That's that union shit.
No, that's Mike Tyson, who's fighting again in July.
Yeah.
Oh jeez, I did see that too. But going back to your point, Mo, yeah, I do think like the Spider-Man side of things is getting too big, and I mean, obviously they're trying to capitalize on the popularity of the the Spider-Man movies, whether you're talking about Peter or Miles. Yeah. But Jesus, man, like it's like I don't know, like yeah, like I'm not saying like there's always been multiple Spider-Man books.
Yeah,
and I guess you can give the Spider-Man like the Spider Office a little credit in the sense that back in the day you had like maybe like 3 or 4 Spider-Man books and they all starred Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Now they have more books, but they do star like different people, whether you're talking about Miles Morales or Gwen Stacy or Spider-Man 2099. So I'll give them that, but at the same time, I think that if it was up to me, I'd probably be doing like maybe 4 Spider books, and everybody else would be like characters in those books that come up every so often.
And that's where this issue kind of sucks, like the way that Jay kind of said it, where it's like you're getting all this shit that you don't need. Technically, a commercial for other things, because Go Goblin, like, where's that story going to take place? Go Goblin number 3 or whatever the fuck, like.
I don't know, man.
So it's like I don't need that. I don't want that. If it's the story that involves Peter or even Miles, like if you give me, you got Amazing Spider-Man twice a month, and then you get they're teaching Sensational Spider-Man, which it's a Miles and look,
Peter,
we're forgetting about Spider-Boy. Like that's a whole other book that's going on right now, and Superior. On top of that wasn't showcased in this book.
Yeah.
So it's like if you give me 2 Peter Parker books, Sensational Spider-Man, and that could be maybe like the Brave and the Bold for Spider-Man, and they have everything showcased there, I'm in. Like even the way they presented Sensational Spider-Man here, I'm in. But if they did it that way, where you get your Gold Goblin, you get everything else there, I'm in. And then you got your Ghost Spider book. I'll put up with that. I can
Right.
handle that. I like her as a character. I haven't like the way they've developed her over the past 2, 3, 4 years. I'm not a huge fan of, but I do like her
Yeah.
interacting with like the different multiversal aspect of it. It's almost like she's almost like in an Exiles book of her own at
Right.
some point. So it's like that I like, like she has a Spider-Verse book essentially.
Right.
And we got to see the Renew Your Vows people in there, like watch them develop, and I love the Renew Your Vows. I love, but now we got Ultimate, which is essentially like a Renew Your Vows in the future.
Right.
And I'm in there too. Like, I love those motherfuckers. Like
Ultimate Spider-Man is good.
I feel like I'm watching fucking Family Ties and shit, but with fucking Spider-Man in it. And it's like when I was a little kid, it's like, man, I love Family Ties. I love the Hogan family. I love these family sitcoms, Step by Step. I love all this shit. You know what makes it better? If Spider-Man's fucking in it, and that's what you get with fucking Ultimate Spider-Man.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's like the wild part too, where it's like I think that's the other aspect of it, where I'm just like I was reading these stories and I was like, none of this is as interesting as Ultimate Spider-Man, like which is sucks because it's like I don't want
none of it is as interesting as J.J. Abrams' autistic son doing Spider-Man. That Spider-Man Bloodlines, like that shit was tight.
Yeah,
that shit was funny. Tight, Larry. You can't deny that shit.
No, I'm not trying to.
No, I see you. You took a step back on the chair like that. Like you're trying to deny it, but you can't deny it.
No, I'm not denying the quality of the book. I'm talking more that you just like J.J. Abrams' autistic son. Like that's where I was like, oh.
Hey, no. We need to celebrate the fact that somebody on the spectrum could do something that good. Like we need more people like that writing comics.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like to think I'm a little retarded myself, but they don't hire me for nothing.
Oh, Jesus, Moses. Look, come on, man. Look.
Like, can we have a special Olympics for writers programs or something?
I don't think so. I think we're here to rate. Like that's what I think. Anybody got anything else they want to say about Web Spider-Man #1, 2024? Right. All right. Oz.
I like the cover. Greg Capullo's cover.
The cover is fantastic. I agree with you on that.
I want that tattooed across my entire back. But
the cover is good. Oz, what would you rate Web of Spider-Man #1?
I'm gonna just go with a 3 because it is just promotional stuff. Like I can't even call it short stories because it's not complete stories.
Right.
It's just a couple of pages from first issues of stuff they want to sell, and for them to charge $8-9 or whatever for that, But the art looks good, so 3.
They did mess up. They didn't edit it right, and I have an example here. Let's see if I can share my screen.
Yeah.
Shit. Hold on.
Jay, while that's happening, why don't you give us your rating?
I highlighted it for you guys too. Since the Mafia guys got spooked, they don't give us a second chance to explain.
Yeah.
So yeah, they forgot to edit it.
There it is. Give.
Okay.
Yeah. And of course, that was a John Romita book. The John Romita part.
Right. Jay,
I'm
what would you rate?
give it a 1. I resent having to pay $8 for an advertisement.
Fair.
I am looking forward to the Spider-Man 2099 book, though.
Okay. That's fair.
Not for him, but for Aranya.
Oh, got you. Of course. Look, I was just sitting here thinking, like, oh, okay, Jay's like feeling some 2099, but you're right.
You know what?
He sure
Madam Web in this book,
and she's in 2 of them, right? Like Aranya's in 2 of the books.
I think she's just in that one.
Okay. Who was the chick in the other one?
I think she did get mentioned in another book. I don't remember. Like she might have been like in the background, like it's like a flashback.
Mm-hmm.
I think Peter was talking about her, and like they show her in a panel, but it's not like she's not in the story. She's like, yeah. Moses Magnum, what would you rate Web of Spider-Man #1?
Look, it's Spider-Man. I can't give it less than a 3. Like, but like I got a bunch of Spider-Man stories, and and I got to keep an eye out for the Edge of Spider-Verse because I did like that story. I like the art, and then Sensational Spider-Man. I'm in. Like, I want to see the Miles book with Peter. But again, they're ignoring my boy Spider-Boy. Like, and that's what I told. They're doing him like Alpha, like they're doing him like Alpha, like he's disappearing all of a sudden with no reason for disappearing. And and I told Dan Slott that on Twitter, like, yeah. He's like, this is gonna be the greatest thing ever. It's like, yeah, but remember Alpha? And and then he blocked me.
You know what though? I went to the comic book shop last week. There's a lot of fucking Spider-Boy on those shelves.
Yeah, nobody's buying it. I'm the only one reading it. And it is what it is, like it could be good, and eventually you'll see it. Those will fly off when Beyond the Spider-Verse comes out and he's in there.
That's crazy. I don't think that's gonna happen, but if it did, I would be mad for the Spider-Boy fans.
I don't think there's fans.
for the Spider-Boy fan, that is Moses.
Yeah. Oh, and again, I got my copy, so I'm good. Right. I got mine signed by Dan Slott himself. So
right.
Yeah. Graded 9.3. So I'm good.
I'm gonna give Web of Spider-Man #1 2.5. I wanted to like it. I was excited to read it. But yeah, I wasn't excited after I was done. So it's unfortunate because I want to be excited about Spider-Man comics, and hopefully the books when they come will be better. But I'm sure I'll find something to enjoy. But overall, I was just like, nah. But anyway, all right, you guys ready to get out of here?
We're not gonna do news.
Oh, we can do some news.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
fuck! I barely prepared for this show. You think I got news? I've been busy doing stuff.
Word. Yeah, exactly. Things that shall not be named. I agree. Okay.
I guess I should play the music.
Oh yeah. Or I'm looking for it. Bring it down.
I can't hear it. I can't monitor it.
Okay, there we go. That's good.
Like, bruh.
Bruh. All right.
Stick around for another minute for his final thought.
Yeah, and look, Jay's on a tight schedule.
His contract.
I'm out.
We can't do anything past 2 hours.
Oscar, give me some final thoughts.
I'm sure there's plenty of amazing things coming up on the channel, so like, subscribe, and do all that.
I agree. Moses Magnum, final thoughts.
Yeah, we got a new episode of Cunt, and it's not comics who didn't think this is actually these cunts that think that Gambit looks gay with a top. I need Oz to animate that, like,
it's the 90s. It's the 90s.
Hey, no. Hey, look, fucking read fucking comics. Hellfire Gala Gambit is way gayer than 90s Gambit. So it's like, read fucking comics. Oz, I need you to animate that read fucking comics thing, like you did the cunt thing, because I need it for that video.
I have that file. Just let me know what you want it to say, and I can change it.
No, I wanted to say read fucking comics. Like,
oh, but the same the cunt, but read fucking.
Yeah, like the same motion, just read fucking comics, because it's literally like, I got videos of these people talking shit about Gambit. It's like, fuck, like, read fucking comics. Hellfire Gala Gambit was so gay. Like, I think he actually did suck a few cocks at the Hellfire Gala. But you don't know that because you don't read no fucking comics. fucking neophyte fucks. You know, angry at they did my boy Gambit dirty. Like they made him gay, woke ass sex. Fuck you. Read fucking comics. Hellfire Gala, he had 2 cocks in his fucking mouth. Get the fuck out of here.
I don't think that happened, but
Like
I'm gonna say it happened. They're not gonna know because they don't read no fucking comics.
He's still banging Rogue in '97, like just because he's wearing that crop top.
Look again, save it for the video. Just animate that shit.
For the entire Fantastic Forum, thank you all so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate you. We'll be back next week. Let us know what it is you like, what you don't like, what you want us to be talking about. Hit us, in the comments, whether that be Twitch, YouTube, or just find us. We're not hard to find.
Fantastic Forum on every platform, including Truth Social, which is now a bipartisan subsidiary.
Okay. We're the Fantastic Forum. Good night.